So the other day we were discussing about Advaita Acharya. So who should we discuss about today?
Gopkumar, is that too big a subject?
Okay. Gopkumar. Gopkumar is the main character in a book written by Srila Sanatana Goswami. The name of the book is Brihat Bhagvatamrita. Brihat means great, or large, or extensive. And Bhagavat is Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam means the words about the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Bhagavan. The word comes from Bhagavan, and about Bhagavan is Bhagavat. And Amrita means nectar. You can say the great nectar of the glorification of the Lord. So that book has two parts. The first part is Narad Muni's search for the greatest devotee. And the second part is a Cowherd Boy's journey back to Godhead. So in both the Bhagavatamritam, it has been described the gradual elevation in the spiritual path, gradual progress in spiritual path. Like one is, who is the greatest devotee? Different types of devotees have been described. Like one leading to the other. One leading to the greater one. Anyway, we can briefly discuss that also. Like the story begins with Narad Muni in assembly of sages, assembly of saintly personalities in Prayag. Prayag is the confluence of three rivers, Ganga, Jamuna and Saraswati. And that is considered to be a very holy place. And most likely that occasion is Kumbh Mela. Because on the occasion of Kumbh Mela, millions of people assemble, all the saintly people, spiritually inclined people, they just assemble there. Millions of them. And so mind you, this was a description, who knows, how long ago. Sanatana Goswami wrote it about 500 years ago, 400 some years ago. But he is talking about something in the past. And so the description goes like, Narad Muni saw that all the saintly personalities are glorifying each other. Now this is also another saintly quality. This is another characteristic which is very distinct from material attitude. In the material nature, everybody wants that he should be glorified. But in the spiritual platform, one derives pleasure by glorifying others. And who are those others? The others are the devotees of the Lord. Like devotees generally glorify the divine qualities of other devotees. So Narad Muni then considered, let me find out who is the greatest devotee. Because everyone is saying, you are the greatest, you are the greatest. So, he saw one Brahmana very wonderfully worshipping his Shaligram, Shila. On the bank of the Ganges, he worshipped the Shila and offered various prasad and worshipped him in a grand way. And then he distributed the prasad to all the Vaishnavas and Brahmanas. And then he partook to that prasad with his own family. So Narad Muni, seeing him, felt that he was the greatest devotee. So he approached him and started to glorify him as the greatest devotee. So the Brahmana felt very embarrassed. He said, what devotion did you see in me? I am worshipping because it's my occupation. As a Brahmana, my duty is to worship the Lord. So where is the devotion in there? The real devotee is such and such king in southern India. And so he started to glorify him. That although he is a king, he has so many responsibilities. He is a warrior, he is a king. But still the way he worships the Lord is so admirable. So Narad Muni immediately went to that king. Actually, I don't know whether you all know, Narad Muni has the ability to travel anywhere. He can go anywhere. So Narad Muni just appeared to the king. And the king then, and he saw a grand worship of the Lord in a temple, beautiful temple, and in a royal way the Lord is being worshipped. So seeing that, Narad Muni started to glorify the king. Oh, you are the greatest devotee. But the king said, what is that? What kind of devotion is there in me? I am just an ordinary human being. How can I ever worship the Lord, glorify the Lord properly? The real worshipper of the Lord, real devotee of the Lord is Indra. He is the king of the demigods in heaven. And the Lord has been so pleased with his worship that he has appeared as his younger brother. Lord Vamandev is Indra's younger brother. And he says he accepts his worship with his own hands. So seeing that, Narad Muni went to the heavenly planets. And he saw the Lord there as the brother of Indra, younger brother of Indra. And how he is accepting Indra's offerings with his own hands. Seeing that, Narad started to glorify Indra. Hearing his glorification, Indra felt very embarrassed. He said, what devotion is there in me? The real devotee is Lord Brahma. And he started to describe why Lord Brahma is the greatest devotee. So Narad Muni went to Brahma and he started to glorify. Hearing his glorification as the greatest devotee, Brahma became very upset and he started to chastise Narad Muni. That how many times I have to tell you? Because Narad Muni is his son. And And he said, what devotion is there in me? Like I make so many mistakes and the Lord has to come and rectify. And the real devotee is Lord Shiva. So Narad Muni went and started to glorify Lord Shiva. Then Lord Shiva said, Narad, what kind of devotion did you see in me? The real devotee are the residents of Vaikuntha. Because the Lord is with them all the time and they are eternal associates of the Lord. I barely get to see the Lord once in a while. And that also, so many times I fail to recognize Him. I fight with Him. And then I come back to my senses by His mercy. So do you call that devotion? And he started to glorify the residents of Vaikuntha. Then Parvati said, among all the residents of Vaikuntha, Lakshmi Devi is the greatest. So hearing that, Narad was about to go to Vaikuntha. But then Lord Shiva said, but Narad, even greater devotee is Prahlad. So Narad Muni went to Prahlad Maharaj and he started to glorify him as the greatest devotee. Then Prahlad Maharaj became very embarrassed. He said, as a child, I developed some attachment to the Lord. Where is devotion in there? Like real devotee is Hanuman. Because devotion means service. I did not render any service to the Lord. I had some sort of childish attachment to His lotus feet, and the Lord has just protected me time and time again from all kinds of calamities. But look at Hanuman, the kind of service he rendered for the Lord. Hearing that, Narad Muni goes to Hanuman. And when he started to glorify Hanuman as the great devotee, the Hanuman told him, please don't speak like that. Like, if I was a devotee, then why did the Lord leave me and go away? I am in separation from Him. And you call it devotion? Real devotees are the Pandavas, because the Lord is always with them. When they are in difficulties, the Lord is always there to protect them. So in this way, he started to glorify the Pandavas. So then Narad Muni went to the Pandavas. Then the Pandavas said, no, at the time of distress, we remembered the Lord and He is so merciful that He came and He protected us. It is His kindness. There is no devotion from our side. Being in distress and taking shelter of the Lord is not devotion. The real devotees are the Yadus. The Lord has become their family members. They are the family members of the Lord. So, you can well imagine how intimate they are to the Lord. So hearing that, Narad Muni goes to Dwarka. And there, when he started to glorify the Jadus, they said that the best of the devotees is Uddhava. So hearing the glory of Uddhava, Narad Muni goes to the assembly of King Ugrasen. And the grand, beautiful court beautiful assembly house. All the Jadus were sitting there, surrounding King Ugrasen. There's so much opulence. And he asked, where is Uddhava? And they said, Uddhava is in the inner chamber with Krishna. So Narad Muni goes there, and there he sees that everyone is in great anxiety, because although it was so late in the morning, but Krishna didn't get up. Krishna is in a very, very painful state, remembering the residents of Vrindavan. And so seeing that condition of Krishna, Brahma asked Vishwakarma to create a new Vrindavan. And in the middle of the ocean, he created the new Vrindavan. New Vrindavan is like all the figures, all the personalities, figures are there. They are not there. And Krishna fainted. So Garuda was called, and Balaram took Krishna, but he dressed up Krishna as a Cowherd Boy and took him on Garuda and went to New Vrindavan. And there Balaram woke him up, Krishna, it's so late, get up. So Krishna woke up and he said, I had such an amazing dream. I dreamed that I went to some place and there I became the king. And I got married to 16,000 queens. And he started to speak like that. Balaram said, Krishna, don't have to speak about it. It's already so late. Some other time I'll listen to you about all those dream of yours. Now let's go see all the Cowherd Boys are waiting for you. And then, Narad Muni was watching and he saw the way Krishna was dealing with all the residents of Vrindavan. They are all statues, but Krishna is just imagining, let's say for example, Mother Jashoda, when he was not speaking to her, when she was not speaking to him, she said, Mother, are you very angry with me that I have got up so late? And so saying that, but Balaram said, okay, let's go, we're getting late. So in this way, Krishna was interacting with different residents of Vrindavan, and that displayed how much in love Krishna is with them. And this is how, and then finally when Narad Muni saw the way Krishna was dealing with Srimati Radharani, and this is how he recognized that Srimati Radharani is the greatest of all devotees. Beyond Dwarka is Vrindavan, and in Vrindavan, among all the devotees, Srimati Radharani is the greatest. So this is how, in the part 1, Narad Muni's journey, Narad Muni's endeavor to find the greatest devotee leads to, from gradually, from one level of devotion to the other level of devotion has been established. And finally it goes to Vrindavan and Srimati Radharani. So that's the first part of Brihat Bhagvatamrita. The second part of Brihat Bhagvatamrita is the journey of a cowherd boy. The name of the cowherd boy is Gopkumar. He was born in Govardhan, and like other cowherd boys, he from morning till night, he tends the cows and and plays with the cowherd boys there in the field. And he used to see one man who was very strange. Like sometimes he used to laugh, sometimes he used to cry, sometimes he used to roll in the ground, sometimes he used to dance, sometimes he used to faint. But this person was very fond of the cowherd boys. And the cowherd boys also were very fond of him. So this is how sometimes they would see this man in Vrindavan. So one day, this person, Gopkumar was alone, and he saw this man, and he told him, "Go take your bath in Jamuna, and today I'll give you one very, very precious thing, the most precious thing in this world." So hearing that, he went to bath in Jamuna, came to him, and he gave him the mantra, the Gopal Mantra. And he told him that how by chanting this mantra, all his desires will be fulfilled. So, and while he was explaining to him how to chant the mantra, this person fainted in ecstasy. And when he came back to his senses, he just got up and he walked away. So, being instructed by him, Gopkumar started to follow his instructions and started to chant. And he developed such an attachment to chanting the mantra, he started to get such taste from chanting the mantra that he lost interest for everything. He didn't like to play with his friends anymore. He didn't like to tend the cows anymore. All he wanted is to chant, and he felt that everything else was actually a hindrance to his chanting. Therefore, one day he decided to leave. So, he left, and he actually came then he saw Brahmana was worshipping the Lord. He was very attracted because he realized that the person that he is chanting, that is him. And he asked the Brahmana told him he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And so Gopkumar was very pleased, and then he put the Shila in a box, and seeing that, Gopkumar became very much affected. He started to cry. See, he put the Lord in a box, the Lord of the universe, inside the box. So he said, look, I can't worship in a grand way, but if you want to see grand worship of the Lord, then you go to this king. There he is worshipping the Lord. You'll see in what kind of grandeur. So Gopkumar went to that place, the capital of that king, and he saw a gorgeous temple, beautiful deities, and he is being worshipped with such opulence. And seeing that, Gopkumar became so attracted, he just kept on staying there. He just wanted to spend the whole day seeing the Lord being worshipped. And at night he would just lie down in one corner somewhere and spend the night. This is how he was spending his time there. During the day he used to see the Lord being worshipped, and he used to get some prasad. So all he was doing is just staying there, watching the Lord being worshipped. And then in the meantime, the king of that place died. And he didn't have any successor to the throne. So the ministers started to look for a king for the country. And in the personality of Gopkumar, they saw all the auspicious signs. So they decided to make him the king. So Gopkumar became the king of this kingdom. Although he became the king, his only interest was to worship the Lord in the most grand way and engage everybody in his kingdom in the service of the Lord. But at the same time, Gopkumar used to see that how they would not show proper respect to the king and especially to prasad, to the Lord, and especially to his prasad. And he used to feel very bad that after all the prasad of the Lord is transcendental. But they used to consider the prasad is stale, prasad is rotten. So he used to, and sometimes they would just disregard the mercy of the Lord in that way. Then Gopkumar heard that there is a place on the bank of the saltwater ocean in a place called Purushottam Kshetra. The Lord is there. And there the Lord is taking prasad throughout the day, and Lord is distributing prasad throughout the day and night. And there, this prasad, even if it is rotten, they know that people have the understanding that that is the transcendental mercy of the Lord. So hearing that, Gopkumar left his kingdom and went to Jagannath Puri. And there also he was so excited to see the Lord in his beautiful form. And there also he started to spend his time just being in the temple all the time. And there also after some time, the king died, and his son did not want to be the king. So they started to look for a king. And they selected Gopkumar to be the king. And so Gopkumar became the king of that place. So there, when he was in Jagannath Puri as a king, there also he was just serving the Lord, considering himself to be his servant. And one day he saw his spiritual master on the bank of the ocean. And his spiritual master instructed him how to meditate on the mantra that he gave, which he could not complete at that time. Now he instructed him on that. And as Gopkumar started to chant the mantra, and then he got to know that how the king of heaven, Indra, worships the Lord in such a grand way. And so as soon as he desired, he was transported to heavenly planet. And there he saw Indra, and he saw how wonderfully the Lord is reciprocating with him in such a loving way. And Gopkumar just kept on staying there, just watching how grand, how wonderfully Indra is worshipping the Lord. And then Narad Muni, Gopkumar, one day Indra, being afraid of some curse of some Brahmana, he disappeared. He ran away. And the heavenly kingdom became devoid of Indra. So Brihaspati, under the guidance of Brihaspati, the demigods selected Gopkumar to become Indra. So Gopkumar became Indra. But although he became Indra and there is so many wonderful facilities for enjoyment, Gopkumar did not indulge in any of those enjoyments. Gopkumar didn't even stay in the palace. He used to stay in the Nandankanan, the beautiful garden of the heavenly planet. He used to stay there and he used to take care of the affairs, and his main concern was how to promote Krishna consciousness. Then Gopkumar, one day he saw some brilliant looking personalities came from somewhere, and everyone was worshipping them. Their brilliance looked like that each one was brilliant as the sun. So Gopkumar wondered who they are. And Brihaspati told him that these are the sages from the higher planetary system, Maharloka. And they are Bhrigu, Pulasta, Pulaha. So, and Brihaspati told him about this planet Maharloka, where the saintly sages live, and they are performing the sacrifice, and from the sacrificial fire the Lord appears and fulfills all their desires. So hearing that, Gopkumar wanted to see how they perform these sacrifices, what the sages are doing. And this way they're having a direct relationship with the Lord. So as soon as Gopkumar desired, he was elevated to Maharloka. He started to reside in Maharloka with the sages, and he used to watch them, how they are engaged in offering sacrifices. And from the sacrificial fire, the Lord appeared. And the Lord was having such a beautiful exchange with them. Then, at one time, that place became very, very hot. So hot they couldn't even live there. So he asked what happened. He said all the lower planetary systems now have been destroyed by pralay, and the fire of pralay, the heat from the fire of pralay, destruction, devastation, is coming all the way up to Maharloka. So then they left Maharloka and went to the next planetary system, Janaloka. Then in Janaloka he got to know about the 4 Kumars. And as he wanted to be there with them, he was transported to Tapaloka. And in Tapaloka he saw these 4 Kumars. They are absorbed in meditation, and he could see that from that meditation the Lord was appearing to them. And he could see the Lord as the super soul is manifesting himself. Then he got to know that even beyond that is the abode of Lord Brahma, Satyaloka. So he went to Satyaloka. So when he was in Satyaloka, Brahma all of a sudden playfully touched the water of the Garbha ocean. And as a result of that, a demon appeared. And being afraid, Brahma ran away from there. So the abode of Brahma now is devoid of Brahma. So they appointed Gopkumar as Brahma. So now Gopkumar started to control the affairs of the entire universe. But he was doing everything with utmost devotion to the Lord. His only concern was to serve the Lord and did not have any other consideration for sense gratification. So then, one day he saw his spiritual master there. And his spiritual master instructed him to go back to Vrindavan and continue to meditate on the Lord through the mantra. So he went back to Vrindavan, and this way so many kalpas went by. The entire earth planet looked completely different. But he found that Vrindavan is the same. Vrindavan didn't change at all. It's the same the way he left. Only thing is that none of those people are there anymore. His friends, his relatives, no one is there. So Gopkumar kept on chanting the mantra in Vrindavan. Then one day, he found himself in a spaceship. Some people came and took him. No, he found himself in a spaceship, and then he saw that the spaceship was moving with such a speed. Gradually all those places, all the way up to Satyaloka where he stayed for so long, disappeared from his vision. Then he came to the covering of the universe. In the covering of the universe, he saw the first covering was the covering of the earth. And there, earth personified is worshipping the Lord as Kurmadev. No, I'm sorry, Matsya. No, I'm sorry. Lord is being worshipped as Varahadev. Because the Varahadev lifted the earth from the lower planets. Then he went to the next level, that is the layer of water. There, water personified, the water god personified, is worshipping the Lord as Kurmadev. Then he came to the next layer, the layer of fire. And each of these places were extremely opulent. Each successive place is 10 times more opulent. And there he saw that how the Lord is being worshipped. First as Varahadev, then Kurmadev. Then in the planet of Agni, he found that the layer of Agni, he found that Agni personified is worshipping the Lord as Vaishyanar. And then he came to the next layer, air. There he found the Lord is being worshipped as Pradyumna, Aniruddha. Then Pradyumna, then in the false ego layer or mind layer, he found the Lord is being worshipped as Shankarshan in the layer of false ego, the final one. Then he came to the outer layer, the layer of Maya. And there he found that Maya Devi personified, Mahamaya, is worshipping the Lord in his Mohini Murti. So he, and there Maya was asking him, why are you leaving? Stay here and enjoy with me. But Gopkumar offered obeisances and told her that he wanted to serve her brother and he wanted her blessings to do that. So she blessed. And then Gopkumar went out of the material nature. Then he came to the brilliant light. And in that light he was losing his consciousness. And that's the first time he couldn't see the Lord. So he started to pray to Lord Jagannath. And then he heard some sound of music. And he found that there's a personality sitting on a bull. His complexion is white as camphor. And he was surrounded by his associates, and his associates were singing his glory. So Gopkumar wondered who that was. So one of the associates told him, you don't know? This is Lord Shiva. He is non-different from Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In this way he started to describe the glory of Lord Shiva and told Gopkumar, why don't you also stay with us and worship him? But Gopkumar offered obeisances to them and begged their mercy and continued. Then he came to the spiritual world. And as he came there, he saw the Lord. And he offered his obeisances and started to glorify him. O my Supreme Lord, all-powerful Supreme Personality of Godhead, please bestow your mercy upon me. And hearing that he is offering obeisances and offering prayers, the Lord there covered his ears. And so I'm not him, I'm not him. I'm only his servant, I'm only his servant. Saying that, he just ran inside. So Gopkumar was wondering what to do. And then he saw the Lord came there riding on a spaceship with Lakshmi Devi. 4 arms, color of monsoon cloud. Seeing that when he started to offer worship to him, saying or addressing him as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, this person also covered his ears, ran inside saying, I'm not him, I'm not him, I'm not the Lord. So in the Vaikuntha planet, everyone is 4-armed, looks like the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So he couldn't recognize. And finally somebody took mercy upon him and took pity upon him and then took him to the Lord. And seeing the Lord, Gopkumar just fainted. Lakshmi Devi came and brought him back to his senses, treating him like her son. And this is how Gopkumar came to Vaikuntha. So he was staying in Vaikuntha, seeing the Lord, receiving his mercy, mercy of Lakshmi Devi. But he did not change his Cowherd Boy form. So the residents of Vaikuntha was asking him, you have come to Vaikuntha, so you assume the Vaikuntha form. But he was not interested in that. So in this way, from Vaikuntha, he was elevated to Ajodha, then he was elevated to Dwarka, and then from Dwarka, he was elevated to Vrindavan. So he was in Dwarka, and he was associating with the Lord, receiving His mercy so much. Then one day Narad Muni came there and saw him. Said, look, you are in Dwarka, so why your heart is not still satisfied? Then Gopkumar told him, yes, I know, I am receiving so much mercy from the Lord, but my heart is yearning for one cowherd boy who tends the cows and plays the flute. I don't know why my heart is just searching for him. Even though I am here with the Lord receiving so much mercy, my heart is not content. Then Narad Muni told him, okay, your attachment is actually to Vrindavan. So, you go back to the Bhauma Vrindavan, the Vrindavan on earth. And there you do the Sankirtan, chant the holy name of the Lord. And that will qualify you to go to Vrindavan. So according to the instruction of Narad Muni, he came back to the Bhauma Vrindavan, and in staying in the forest of Vrindavan, he was simply chanting the holy name of the Lord, calling out to him with all the love of his heart. Hey Govinda, Hey Gopal. And then one day, Gopkumar saw Krishna, and seeing him on the bank of Jamuna, he just ran to catch him. He almost caught the edge of his chadar, but it slipped out of his hand and the Lord disappeared behind a bush. Seeing him, and when the Lord disappeared, Gopkumar was so heartbroken that he fainted, and his body rolled into the water of Jamuna. When Gopkumar gained his consciousness, he found that he was moving in a tremendous speed in some vehicle. And then finally, that vehicle brought him to Vrindavan. When he arrived in Vrindavan, it was in the afternoon. So he saw some girls who were picking flowers, and they were speaking about Krishna's activities. So he approached them and asked them if they could tell where the house of Nanda Maharaj was. No response from them. So Gopkumar felt maybe they all are deaf, they don't hear. Or they are so absorbed about singing the glory of that person that they don't have any external consciousness. So whoever Gopkumar asked, he found that he couldn't get any answer. Then finally an old lady took some pity upon him. He said, oh, you want to go to Nanda Maharaj's house? It is there. So he went there and he found that everyone there also is talking about Krishna. And when he asked one elderly person to pity upon him and told him that Krishna has gone to tend the cows, he'll be coming back soon. And then he saw, then he saw that in the horizon, he saw that everyone was looking at certain direction. And then he saw the dust was flying in the horizon. Then he could hear the mooing of the cows and laughter of the boys. And then he saw Krishna in front of all the cowherd boys and cows. Seeing Krishna, Gopkumar just ran to meet him. And Krishna also seeing Gopkumar ran to meet him. And then Krishna embraced Gopkumar. And Krishna started to tell him, my friend, I've been missing you so much. I know all that you had gone through. I know all the difficulties you had to come to me. And while speaking like that, Krishna fainted. Gopkumar also fainted. So seeing that Krishna fainted, the cowherd girls started to cry. Some even thought that it may be one of the agents of Kamsa came to harm Krishna. So the cowherd boys were just picked up their sticks and they came running. But Balaram came, and seeing Gopkumar and Krishna, he knew what happened. So he splashed some water on Gopkumar's face, brought him to his senses, and then asked him to chant the holy name at Krishna's ears. And when he did that, Krishna came back to his senses. So then Krishna took Gopkumar by his hand and came to the house of Nanda Maharaj. All the boys were just standing there, waiting to have the last glimpse of Krishna. So Krishna also turned around and looked at them. They just stood there. All the boys were standing there. Krishna is standing on the porch. And no one is moving. Krishna is, then finally Mother Jashoda came and said, Krishna, come inside the house. And when Krishna went inside, the boys, some of the boys went back to their houses. Some of the boys didn't even go back to their houses. They just laid down there to sleep, waiting for Krishna, to see Krishna in the morning. And some wild animals also, like deers and other animals, came. They also just laid down there to spend the night. And this is how Gopkumar entered into Golok Vrindavan in the association of Krishna. So these are the two aspects of first and second parts of Brihat Bhagvatamrita. Did you read it? Yeah, it's a very extensive description. So just these stories give us the full understanding of. Through this, Sanatana Goswami is giving us the understanding of what our goal is. Even if we get promoted to Vaikuntha, Ajodhya, or even Dwarka, will we settle there? No. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.